But yeah, on the character shit, chat. On the character, I feel like men should have. Character, I feel like men should have. You know, when it come to money, I can only give you my character. If I let somebody, if I extend somebody something, right? I'm gonna tell you, my character is based around managing levels of stress, and I make judgments based on how people handle situations. Now I get examples of that later. But let's get the managing levels of stress one out the way easiest, because that's the first thing that come to my mind. I don't bet on shit, and I don't. And when I let somebody borrow anything, it could be money, it could be whatever, it could be even fucking like a hoodie or something. Like anytime I let somebody borrow something, in my mind, right? In my mind, I'm already prepared for the worst. Like I don't do the whole, yeah, I'm gonna pay you back by such and such and all that. In my mind, I already expect the worst. Now I have let people in the past, I give them enough rope to hang themselves, as they say. But once that's done, you're done forever. Like I don't even like people doing that to me. I don't like people saying like, "Oh yeah, da da da." Like I hate when people give me their word and go against it. I hate that shit. Your word is bond. Not all men agree to this, but this is something I live by. Your word is bond. If you say you're gonna be somewhere, be there. You say you're gonna do something, do it. You say you about something, be about that shit, man. Like, don't be nothing more and nothing less. Cause the fact that you could give your word and not follow through with it, it just show you know what you should be. You know right from wrong. And you choose wrong. I can remember like the exact age and scenario where I started to really develop my own character. Like in character is literally how you act when nobody's looking. The things you do when if nobody will know. You know what I'm saying? Ever talk shit and fought and then got whooped? Hell no. Never in my life. Like even the fights I've lost, nobody ever whooped my ass. Nobody ever whooped my ass. Like no. And now as a kid, yes, I got my ass whooped as a kid. Um, but it's because it's fights like that. I've had so much fight experience by the time I was 12. I knew what not to do and how not to lose fights. Going to the ground, losing high ground in the fight, you're done. If you let a nigga get on top of you, you're done. 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 So I hit, not really. Not really. Never. But like I said, bro, I hate leaning and relying on people's word. That's just something for me personally. Because the moment you show me some shit like that where you intentionally knew you wasn't going to do something, you'll never, ever, ever be able to ask me for shit again. Ever. You know what I'm saying? But you got to recognize this, chat. You don't want to be one of those people, gang. A lot of people are cheap. A lot of people are cheap, gang. A lot of people are cheap, bro. They're cheap money-wise, right? They're cheap with their time. They're cheap with their word. They're cheap with their investment. Cheap on everything. And you might say, like, shouldn't you be cheap with your money? Should you save it? No, sometimes you gotta spend money to make money, gang. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, being a giver works out for you. Being somebody who knows how to serve and help and look out and assist works out for you. You know what I'm saying? Everything being cheap to me is a flaw in somebody's character. People be cheap on everything. They at the bare minimum they can't even show up. They can't even show up and they can't even be who they say they are. So I don't respect people like that. I respect people, and it's mind, this ain't even about being tough, bro. It's like some genuine people out here. It might even be your grandmom. You might even think about your grandmom. Like your grandma has never been anything less than what she's told you she'll be, or the type of person she is, and you love that quality of character. You know what I'm saying? The obvious character flaws, honestly, when it comes to men, bro, is mostly surrounding bitches, cause that's when you see niggas corniest characters. When it come to bitches or when it come to money. And this the thing though, chat, too. You can't expect everybody to have your character. That's another one. That's another one. That's why you need your non-negotiables. So that you don't end up playing a nigga game. I give an example of a nigga game. Like, if you found out a nigga was pillow talking, this literally happened between me and a girl one time. Right? Like, it's so funny. Gang, a woman will tell you shit. Like, she'll just be honest with you. Like, oh, such and such said this, or such and such brought you up. Women be knowing, bro. Even if her character ain't like that. Oh, our ads are running? Alright, we're finna just play some music while the ads run. I feel like listening to it. I feel like listening to it. I've been listening to old chords, man. Core. Stoey, what's good, Stoey? Running my credit right now. I haven't used credit yet. I'm just gonna my cook. You're not cooked, but that is late. I mean, it ain't fuck being late or early, but man, one of my homies, I remember one of my homies had that situation, like, where, I mean, unless it's religious. I know a couple Muslim homies who don't like borrow money or can't borrow money at all, but I remember one of my homies didn't have a credit card, fully grown of the age to have a credit card, and it was because of, it was literally out of fear. I only use debit right now. If you are in the US, that is one of the dumbest things ever. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You get no value for spending debit, for spending cash. No value at all. There's so much more benefits to using credit, especially if you credit max. Like, you got certain cards for certain responsibilities. You get cash back, you get percentages, you get deals, travel rewards. And the rewards could be so much that shit might pay for your next flight. It might pay for your, like, a night or two in a hotel, or even more than that. There are a lot of benefits, but there's no, like, and if your debit card gets scammed, there's no protection around that. Credit, the money technically ain't spent until you pay off the card. So if somebody scams your credit card, you'll get that right back anyway. Like, you never lost it technically. They be much more prepared for credit scams and credit loss than any other type of spending. Consolidated your debt is too smart too. Yeah, then you end up knocking it down, paying it off chip by chip. Got a free chip or credit? Way more than a free chip. Yo, me and my homies credit max like shit. We all got American Express cards at the same time. Like 4 or 5 of us, we all gave each other a benefit, and it was around the time it was something like recommend a friend, and if they spend more than, I forgot how much, it was a couple thousand though. I want to say like 7,000, if the, or maybe 10, I don't know. It was something like if you invite somebody and they spend this amount of money within 6 months, y'all both get this many points, and it was a lot of fucking points. It was a lot of points. It was a lot of points. Fuck y'all up for real. I'm telling you, my IRL homies is on shit, bro. They not content creators or nothing, but they on shit, bro. They be on shit. My credit right now is 767. My mom just turned 19 too. She helped me build since I was 16. W mom, bro. A lot of people had that. I'm outside tomorrow. What's going on? What's going on, Ma? I'm at my crib. I'm not in the city right now. I gotta prepare my crib to move. But if I find it ain't that much to do, as far as prepping my crib, which I don't think it is, just let me know what the move is if you're finna be outside tomorrow. Would you say you should get a credit card? I mean, I got mine at 18. I couldn't depend on my parents' credit, unfortunately. So I had to get mine when I could get my own. You leaving ATL? I mean, I still got my other spot in ATL. I still got my apartment. This crib, I'm getting rid of the 31st. So that's like next Thursday, I want to say. Next Friday, next Thursday. But I still got my apartment until May. Next year's on Canada. All right, what's the last thing y'all heard before the ads run? Because I already know that ads is done right now. So we got off track just because of the ads was running. I think the last thing I said was character when it comes to bitches. I was gonna tell you a situation like a girl literally ended up telling me that. It's funny when a woman know your character solid. When a woman know you a solid ass nigga, gang, and you show her how you are as a man, gang, you don't have to ask her shit. You don't even have to ask her for nothing, gang. Nigga, she is financially invested in you, emotionally invested in you, spiritually invested in you, everything. And all the little nut shit, all the little corny shit, she literally, mind you might not even want to hear it. You might tell like, Leah, listen, don't tell me no shit about that. Don't tell me no shit about no other nigga and all that. Like, I don't even want to hear that shit. But it might be an example where somebody might do some lame shit. She fuck around and a woman will be the one to tell you that one of your homies is moving foul. Oh yeah, such a buddy weird, like, you know, he started drinking and wanting to start doing weird shit like this, you know, or you know, he didn't try to do this to my sister and all that. You be like, what the fuck? Or even worse, you know, some, not even worse, but now we talking character, like it might be some pillow talking shit, like, yeah, why such and such brought you up and said this and that. You be like, what the fuck? What type of time is buddy on, man? Whether it's your homie or not, bro. But when you know what I'm saying, when a woman respects you, it like she look out for you. I'm not one of these niggas, bro, where a woman has ever betrayed me, stabbed me in my back. You know, I've seen women do dumbass shit. I've had a woman try to threaten to get me killed one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, over us arguing and some shit. You know what I'm saying? I fought a girl boyfriend over her smart ass mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen these dumbass situations of corny character. But I would say for the most part, 99.999%, all my relationships with women have been beautiful. I've seen the best out of women. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them, you know, women have held me down at some of the worst parts of my life. You know, it was at most all the jobs I got except one. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I can say that. Yeah, I think every job I've ever had in my life, chat, has been some type of assist or alley from a woman. I remember a woman told me about a walk-in interview to this one job, and I ended up getting that job. You know, my stepmom got me the H&M joint. Another girl, it was one time I didn't come to school, and I was 16 at the time, or maybe I was 15. It was like this type of job you can get when you was 15, working in Southwest Philly, doing like some outside work. And I didn't make it to school early enough in the morning, and she took the picture of the board and was like, "Yo, here go a job. You can apply to this and that." Like, I've seen the best out of women. I remember I used to get in trouble in school. I didn't have my phone. I told you a woman let me use her phone. I remember I wasn't paying attention to Spanish that much. I used to mess with Hispanic chicks. A woman to do my homework. You know what I'm saying? I was late on a project one time. A girl helped me do my, like, I've seen the best out of women, bro. I've seen some real, I don't have to be on this shit talking negative and bad about women. Why? Because when you move like a man, your principles is right, and you about your business as a man, a woman acts accordingly, bro. A woman acts in alignment with the type of man you are, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that doesn't work is if she is not well rounded herself. But I automatically, any woman I deal with, I automatically assume that. I've learned through experience. I assume the worst now. Anytime I mess with a new woman, I assume the worst. And what I mean by assume the worst is, I assume that the last nigga she was fucking with worked for an amusement park, a water park at that. Like, this nigga let everything slide. I assume this nigga was like a children's park, bro. This nigga lets everything slide, bro. So it might be ways that she used to handle in conflict that you don't like. So now you have to teach her that. Whether it's if she raises her voice, whether it's, and it could even be from her upbringing. It don't always got to be the last nigga she was messing with. But I always assume the worst, bro. I always assume the worst. Like, I always assume she don't know how to, like, you dead ass when you mess with a woman, it's on the job training. It's on the job training. You showing her how to treat you. You showing her how you like things, how you and her respond to each other. So if you messing with a woman, y'all locked in, y'all arguing, y'all be yelling at each other, and be throwing shit and all that, you gotta blame yourself. Not because that's how she is, right? Or that's what she came to the relationship with. But you gotta blame yourself, as in somewhere down the line, you wasn't checking it in a way that she would grow. And if she don't grow, then she don't deserve to be with you. She's not gonna come to you perfect. She's not gonna come to you perfectly with the type of habits you like, or, you know, to know how to respect you. Cause maybe the last nigga she was fucking with ain't mind that you know, she would yell at him and curse at him and talk to him certain kind of ways. But if you're not going for that, it's up to you to let her know that and show her that, and you know, obviously lead by example for sure. Cause the first thing she gonna say is, you know, let's say for example you don't want her cursing. The first thing she gonna hear is you cursing at her. You know, if you don't want to be arguing a certain kind of way where y'all raise your voice and shit. The first thing she gonna say is, well, you just yell. That's crazy if I like that aggressive shit. I don't like no woman getting aggressive with me. I say I like spice, but I'm talking like sexual tension. I'm not talking disrespect. You know, playful aggressiveness, not actual disrespect. Most are open to learning if you're a good person. Exactly. You know, just keep these things in mind, because just you got to know the last person she was messing with and you don't have the same boundaries, don't have the same vision for how you want you and your woman dynamic to be. So you just have to know these things. Like, I damn near assumed that when I mess with a girl, the last nigga ran a circus and she came from the zoo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just assuming it's the Buck Wild West. And I'm looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, remember you said something like girl calls you bro, for example, you know, like that, you gotta check that shit. I mean, yeah, like, it be a little dumbass shit like that, like. Because it really goes into character, chat. And this is a huge character thing right here. People will always treat you how you present yourself. It don't even be like if somebody think you a bitch, they gonna treat you like a bitch. It's really how you present yourself, man. It's how you carry yourself. It's how you respect yourself. And it might seem like oral forming. It's so funny how we got so many code words on the internet now. Oral forming, ego, and stuff like that. But gang, no, it's you gotta understand where I'm coming from. I come from and grew up in a place where if somebody smell weakness on you or somebody think you weak, that's blood for the sharks, gang. Men or women. That's blood for the sharks, gang. Like, so I don't come from an environment, I wasn't raised in an environment where showing weakness was a good thing. Where acting weak and being a victim was a good thing. You will constantly make yourself a victim. Someone carry themselves. First of all, my whole thing is if I'm around strangers or new people, I'm not overly playful. Because it's always easy to start a relationship off with respect than it is to come back from that. So even if you do have a sense of humor, a certain personality, personally, if I'm around strangers, you know, somebody I don't know like that, it's just certain ways I'm not playing. Because I don't know you like that. So you'll fuck around and take it too far. And then now we in a dumbass situation because we don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to interact with each other like that. You know what I mean? This is how it can go sometimes, bro. It's another thing too, chat. If you notice somebody you cool with is moving with principles that don't reflect yours, cut that person as quickly as possible, bro. Cut that person off as quickly as possible, gang. Why? Because this person is going to either tarnish your name and your character, have you in situations full of bullshit and dumb shit that don't reflect the type of person you is, or even worse, have you taken back on your character. And I have so many examples of this. You know, I've had a homie before. You know, I've had a couple chicks come out about this nigga character. Oh yeah, dude a creep, dude a weirdo and that. And I found this out posting this nigga for his birthday. This is back when I was in high school, bro. Posted this nigga for his birthday. Bro, like 2-3 bitches was like, oh yeah, such and such. I'm like, yo. And I truly believe it, chat. I truly believe, bro, that based on somebody's heart, there's certain things people with good hearts don't do across the line. So to me, if you a nigga and you taking advantage of women either through substances or just creep shit, like forcey weirdo creep shit, I'm not gonna like, to me, if you do some forced weirdo creep shit like that, you'll probably steal from your mom. That's just how I see it. Or if you'll steal from your aunt or something like that, you'll probably steal from me. Not even probably. You will. You will do me foul. So that's one thing I wish I'd have knew way earlier, way younger, is to notice how people treat others and give them no exception. Give them no exception. If we break up and get back together over dumb shit. Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, she started categorizing you as the nigga she'll get away with that shit with. And that be the reason that she'll get a whole roster of niggas, because you keep taking her back and she could do whatever she want. That's another thing too. That's one thing. That's why the answer in some cases is leaving is the only thing you can do. Oh yeah, Ty, how do I get back with my ex and all that? You don't want to be back with your ex, because even if you can be, the dynamic of the relationships is so fucked. You don't want to be a part of that. You're going to lose respect for yourself, if you have any. See, when your self-love is so high, you know that you deserve better. You know that you deserve more. So it's certain things you won't even allow, it's certain positions you won't even allow yourself to be put into. Even if a person tries you, even if a person tries to make you, get under your skin, or involve you in some shit that's beneath you, you got too much self-love for that. You ain't going. You cannot be fucked with. You cannot be moved. You cannot be positioned and moved like a puppet with strings in their body. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how they coming, if intent. You can't read intent. Impact is way more important than intention. You can't say somebody didn't mean well. That's the biggest lie ever told. It's good to always listen to what women say about your bros. I mean, no, it's not. I'm not saying just listen to what everybody say about your man's character, but I'm not saying to be blind or naive either. I never forget you talked about setting boundaries, and one girl called me on my name on call. I just hung up. They immediately called back. Shit felt like I unlocked a new skill tree. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, I mean, y'all already know. I mean, if you have, I'm not expecting anybody to be in here that's seen every clip of mine. But if you've been here and fucking with me long enough, everything I speak on, there's proof behind it. And if it ain't proof behind it, or if it ain't been a situation shown on camera, either through a viewer or through myself personally, I have experience. I don't like speaking on things I'm not experienced with. We get into all this talk about respect and people disrespecting you. I fought niggas for way less than respect. I've gotten into fights for way less. I don't like it. I'm not proud of it, but it's just the reality of my life and the experience I have. So I speak on certain things, certain kind of ways, bro. I grew up and hung with certain people. My family is from a certain type of cloth. So I don't come to online or being Taekwondo fully committed to, okay, I'm judging my value as a character or a person from views, clout, and numbers, because that's not how I navigate in real life. That's not how I judge my relationships, or I judge the value or the weight of a person in real life. So I don't come to the internet with that mindset. There's plenty of things I could do for way more views. Even when I first started this shit, I could have been super on camera boy. Every woman I link is on camera. Everything I do is all on camera. I'm proving this. I'm showing this off. You know what I'm saying? Even, over 6 figures sitting around, and I didn't care about buying no chain. I didn't care about buying no jewelry. And I still feel like that with this mentality. Like, me buying jewelry now, or the plans I have for buying jewelry, is all because of now of a new visions I'm creating for my self-image. But I didn't come in this to be seen like nothing to nobody else. I came in there, this shit that had an impact I want to have on the internet, bro. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. I really don't. That's all bot shit at the end of the day. It's fun shit. Obviously, it's fun shit. Niggas want to be lit. Those, you know what I'm saying? But that's like saying I ain't mean to say something disrespectful, but if you was not trying to be disrespectful, then why you say it. Right, and that's the whole thing. You could directly ask that. You could directly ask somebody that. What you trying to say about that? You trying to be disrespectful, or is that a joke? What's your last fight? Probably, I want to say like 2019 or something like that. I've had close calls with fights, but nothing serious came from it. Yeah, cause I remember high school, my bros, and they would come over with some old shit. Brace to the watch. Stay tuned, man. We got advice from getting shots up, but not getting nowhere. What you mean, like exchanging numbers and shit? Your blueprint trashed. Then if you getting a lot of numbers, which again, numbers is the easiest thing, bro. Like I hate that when you come to the internet and niggas make it seem like that's the difficult part. That's damn near just the beginning, chat. Realistically, that's just the beginning, bro. Rejection or getting the number or not, that's all in the beginning. That's like putting in a job application. You know what I'm saying? That's like, we know that means nothing. But now the interview, keeping the job, being promoted or giving out promotions, that's where all the real work start. You know. How you mentally let go of being a pushover and wanting to have strong boundaries and principles. I mean, you gotta feel like you deserve more, gang. Like it comes from self-love. None of that shit comes from being tough. If what I say is, if you only able to stand up for yourself when you angry and not off of like, I'm not going for that. Like not off, if it's not off principle and it's only off anger, then that means you're situational. Like that means your inconsistency is gonna lead to like inconsistencies in your own relationships. Do I take my L on my back if Shorty says she want a relationship when all I'm trying to do is crush? I'll just let her know what it is. If she fuck with you, gang, she's gonna wait for you. Put it like that. If she fuck with you, she gonna wait for you. I'm telling you, bro. Like, you come into these situations where these niggas be like, if you can't tell a girl what it is and have her still fuck with you, you ain't the nigga you think you is. I'm trying to tell you, you ain't never had to make a woman delusional. She'll convince herself. If she fuck with you, if she really want to fuck with you, gang, no lying and manipulating needs to be done. Still general. How late can I tell you, Anna? Because I really don't know right now. I might go out tomorrow night. Should depend on day trading. I mean, I know niggas that made a lot of money from it. Have I ever been a day trader? No. 4:45 p.m. Yeah, I wouldn't even be live that early anyway. Nah, I appreciate the invite though. I appreciate the invite. Sell the dream or keep the buck, no in between. See, this is the thing, man. Oh, my fault. You said tell you like 4 or 5 p.m. All right, bet. I'll let you know. Favorite night shit streaming? No, this dead ass 2 a.m., bro. I started so late tonight. Drawing crunch time right now. What you on, like a little mission or something? Think it's a good idea to have rotational girls while working on yourself, or that be a distraction? I mean, obviously your rotation gonna be limited. Why the fuck is that a different fire? Why that shit look so bright, bro? I'm tripping, or the fire look different, chat. It look fine as fuck. I appreciate it. I appreciate that, Anna. Yeah, because I be telling them what I want and shit, but they say they just want a relationship, and sometimes they maybe fuck with it. Most of the time they say that it's not what they want, and I'm just like, take care of them. And that's fine with that. See, academics. Why would I see academics? How to make her comfortable if she's nervous around you? Nervous is good. A girl that like you is always gonna be nervous. Even if that was your girlfriend, y'all could be months in a relationship, and you still want her to feel them butterflies. You still want her to be nervous. You still want your presence to have some impact on her. Or the fire vid just ended. No way. Oh, you right. Damn, this is a different fire. That's crazy. Y'all noticed. I didn't even peep. Do I'm not sure that just changed. Day trading is a real money glitch. Or should not control emotions and build patience. You spelled patience wrong, but no, I know my homie used to do that shit heavy. But it take a lot of money. I got caught up. He start crashing out. Damn. Then academics try to groom Noor. Academics went on some weird shit with a kid, making weird ass jokes and shit. The fuck? Are y'all talking about that Discord clip? Who cares about act? Yeah, I don't know. Is he talking about like Max's Noor? Yeah, niggas real life be weirdos, bro. Don't you see actual profit in trading for at least 6 months? What does that mean? It's not worth covering. Ack is drunk. I like how any given day just came in the chat and say, yeah, fuck all that. Oh, you said is a drunk, not is drunk. Damn. Tati books right now. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Miles Davis autobiography. Even though that's a longer read, it took me like a month to read that book. That book like 500 pages. Like, but that was a really good book. And Immunity to Change. Is it bad to fuck with multiple girls at a time? No, you single, you could do what you want, bro. It depends who you ask too. It's always gonna depend on who you ask. You ask the right person, they gonna hype that up. Yeah, my nigga getting bitches. You ask the wrong, if you ask the right person in another sense, then they'll say, no, why are you trying to be a player? Why are you trying to be a man whore? You know what I'm saying? It depends who you ask. That's why you gotta have your own moral compass so you can make decisions and be content with what you chose to do and lay in the bed you made. I feel like that's a sure sign for low self-esteem is when a person can't make decisions that they live and die by. And they can't make statements. I was told this at a young age, chat. I remember one of my earliest lessons from one of my old heads, chat, is say what you mean and mean what you say. That means that everything you say, be ready for what come behind it. Stand on it. Stand by it. And your life will be better off. Doing calls lately, haven't tuned in. No, we ain't did Discord calls in a while. I ain't gonna lie. But you wanna know what the biggest lessons is, chat? And honestly, it was one of my toughest lessons, gang. It's crazy because it's such a cliche joint too, man. When somebody show you who they are, believe it, gang. Believe it. You see some, like, it could be your closest relative, a closest friend of yours, whatever. Like, I feel like it's hair on my lip or something. But gang, that is a hard pill to swallow, but it's such an important one, bro. It is a hard pill to swallow, but it is such an important one, gang. Like, it could be whoever. It could be somebody you dearly love, whatever, gang. Like, somebody show you who they are, believe it. Because if you start putting yourself in a position where you don't judge people for who they are, and what they do, especially when they action, especially on their actions, bro. Especially on their actions. So basically, judge a book by its cover. If you have to say so, basically, you're taking away from the meaning of the statement. You're stretching. You're going way off topic. Your comprehension ain't ready for the conversation we having. Just sit back on this giant. Somebody, if you honestly, chat, I know I don't give a lot of examples with things, bro. But that's because anytime I listen to somebody speak, gang, my understanding always does the other half of the understanding. But I understand some people don't work like that, you know, so I can't be abstract and for people to use their own personal real life experience because maybe they haven't had those yet. You know, I remember I had a public speaking course, and that was one of the main things that they would try to get me to work on back then, is get as concrete as possible. But you gotta understand, bro. Some things just gotta be understood, bro. Some things gotta be understood, bro. Somebody show you who they are, believe it, because it's two things. It's two horrible things that could come from that if you don't understand that. If you don't, right, and somebody doing some flawed shit, some lame ass shit, some corny shit, right, and you keep looking past it, you keep ignoring it, that shit is going to somehow in some way impact you. Either you're going to lose money, waste time, end up in goofy, dumbass situations. Like, it's going to impact you one way or another. So, whether you proactive about it or not, whether you distance yourself from that person or not, whether you fall back or cut them off, whatever you do, so a lot of times, distance is the main answer, you know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, that's the number one thing. Number two, your character finna get more corny from that. Now, because you're excusing this person, now you, even if it's shit you wouldn't do, gang, now you're getting more corny and more lame. Cause then you having to make exceptions. Then you having to make excuses. Your integrity is just not as cut because you tolerating bullshit. It's a huge part. I was just watching a good ass video on authenticity, and it was talking about the evolution of authenticity. So the first stage is most people in the world have what's called they self-present. So it's like I'm living out a narrative, right? And I'm living out the character that I think my environment or the people or a situation I'm dealing with, I'm acting out the character that fits the narrative, right? So this is if I'm having a conversation with one of my parents, right? And the character or the person I need to present right now, it's like I'm showing my business card. It's like when you first start talking to somebody or dating somebody, and you know everybody showing their best self. You ain't really showed your authentic self yet. You ain't really, because you still present your best self. You're self-presenting, right? And then the second level or the second stage, name of the video, I forgot. I had to pull it up in my YouTube or something like that. But the second stage of that is what's called, right, it's face work. It's like you living and wearing your mask, right? So a huge trait present in self-presenting is that oftentimes you end up biting your tongue. You can't fully express, and you're really controlling a person's reaction, and it works both ways. It's not just self-presentation, but it's also the fact that maybe that person is interacting with you in a way that makes you feel like you bear a heavy burden. So let's say one of the things the video mentioned was if you struggle maintaining eye contact with a person, it's because 9 times out of 10, it makes you feel pressured to respond in a certain way. So you'll avoid eye contact just off of the simple fact that you don't want to bear the responsibility of the interaction. Right? It's like you looking at a person makes you feel nervous or make you feel awkward because you feel urged or pushed to do something or respond in a certain way. If somebody's, an example they used was, it's like somebody's always playing victim. So they're always putting you in a position where it's like you always feel like you got to feel bad for them. You always feel like you always have to interact in a way that fits their narrative. I just said I don't remember the channel or the video. I had to pull it up, gang. But it wasn't called the evolution of authenticity. I was just wording it like that. So in this example, what you can't do is, I'll give you an example. It'd be like if a friend of yours keeps making the same mistake over and over, and the only thing you can do is listen. This is not your highest form of authenticity, right? So it's not just the business card example where it's like you're presenting your best self, or you're trying to play a character that fits the situation, right? So you're not even bringing your most authentic self. It's like, it's also the problem that comes with it is you don't even end up expressing to people around you how you genuinely feel about their actions or their opinions. So you're always playing it safe. You're always bordering on this line of like walking on eggshells. But the second stage after that is when you get to self-exposure. I think it was called self-exposure. And in this stage, this is where, and it's funny because if you read the book I recommended called The Courage to Be Disliked, it actually touched on what I'm about to describe. In the second stage, where we get to self-exposure, it's when you get to speaking and expressing yourself in a way. I appreciate the 42 months, man. W42, man. In that second stage where it gets to self-exposure, is when you literally expose your own flaws and vulnerabilities on purpose. It's when you express yourself and say, I don't know how you're going to respond. I don't know how you're going to react, right? And I'm gonna let go of my assumptions. Because a lot of times we manipulate and change. Why does this motherfucker keep coming in and spamming this bullshit in my shit all the time, bro? A lot of times we end up biting our tongues, changing how we would say something because of how we assume or picture in our minds how a person would respond, right? It's like we're trying to avoid that story we play in our head. It's like we try to not make that happen, that assumption happens. But it's your level of authenticity evolves when you start to let go of that claim. When you start to let go of that story or that timeline, you start to say, listen, I'm going to say this, and I really don't know how you're going to respond. I don't know how you're going to take it. I don't know how you're going to react. I don't. Mentally, you prep yourself for this. Mentally, you accept. It's when you start to realize, I cannot deny how I genuinely feel anymore. I can't deny how I genuinely think about a situation. So I'm just going to put it out there. Take, for example, when I told that story about, I said, I felt like I did that girl wrong and I caught her and I apologized. Or I was expressing, genuinely like, how niggas feel about always fucking bitches and always playing hoes and all that, and like how I evolved from that or how I changed from that. I'm like, yo, I'm not on that type of time no more with niggas finessing and lying. Even though I told that story like years ago. I talked about that years ago. But a person's ability to be honest, maybe it's not even just about how you contemplate or you judge yourself. It could be, examples like what I told y'all. Let's say you listen to somebody talk, right? And you directly ask them, hey, do you want me to listen or do you want my genuine opinion? Because I'm not giving you anything less. If you want my genuine, I'm like, listen, it's when you start making a commitment with yourself, you say, listen, I'm not reacting, responding, or saying anything in any way if it's not the utmost truth, if it's not my genuine truth, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. And once you get to that level, it's like now you let go of the responsibility of handling other people's responses and reaction. And you really start to realize the only thing you can control is yourself. So in reality, if somebody responds or lashes out on you or responds angrily, that's because of shit they got pent up on their inside. Your ability to not call a spade, that shit got to do with them. But it's something about your spirit. It's something about your heart that just keep getting weaker and dying. Like it's like your spirit. You will literally watch your own spirit die being a fake version of yourself. Your spirit, your whole sense of being will die. Your flame, your heart, the shit that makes you like actually wake up with intensity and enjoy the world and go out and attack life, that shit ain't going to do nothing but get weaker and weaker by choosing to live in your shadow. And not shadow like shadow work, but like shadow is in a form of yourself that's not truly you. I'm saying, I call it looking through your God's eye. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, I think this is why so many biblical stories have so many examples of, oh yeah, this prophet, uh, went to war with their own uncles, or this person went to war with their own mom or grandmama or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If you Muslim, then you know what I'm talking about. But you know, I know the Bible got examples of stuff like that too.